guys, it's Candace Michelle here, and I'm doing your monthly zodiac sign for the month of October 2018. So this is for Aries, and the first question in the spread today is, what are my previous events or feelings that have recently come to pass? And the first card that we have in our spread today is the Ace of Pentacles. The Ace represents prosperity and material gain, the beginning of a successful endeavor that brings good financial reward. So, yay, guys! Like previous events that have recently just passed, you guys are having great material gain. Yay! This card also says that it would be an excellent time where you should start looking for new business ventures. So recently, you guys, if you've started to look for new business ventures, that's great. It also says that documents hold material importance, such as diplomas, education certificates, inheritance, marriage contracts, wills, bank accounts, house deeds, stuff like that. It can also represent an important letter being received, although frequently it would be an official letter, not a monetary letter. So that would have to do with something that's official that's coming into your life. And these are recent events that have passed already. It also says that this card could also indicate a lump of money, gifts, or inheritance. So recently, if you guys got an inheritance from a will, a loved one just passed, I'm very sorry for that. And that pretty much sums up what the Ace of Pentacles means for what are my previous events or feelings that have recently come to pass. The next question in our spread is, what is currently happening in my present situation? And that card is the Tower card. The Tower represents a situation for anything that has been built on illusions or false beliefs, and it's now coming to an end. So anything that has started on a false belief or an illusion in your present situation right now, that is coming to an end. The card also means that you have the ability to see the truth in a matter and build a new for the future. This is the time right now in your present situation to build a new foundation. So that's great, Aries. This is never an easy card when it appears in the reading, because it shows a sudden or unexpected ending that may bring a sense of catastrophic or chaos with it. This can be in regards to a situation that have been relied upon as being permanent or can relate to any area of life. Aries, I kind of feel that, in the recent past weeks, that maybe some of you might be going through a divorce, and that you might have gotten sent divorce letters. And right now in your present situation, that was coming to an end and finalized, and now it's time for a new chapter in your life, and it's time to start building something new for yourself. So not necessarily that's a bad thing, You may feel that it could be devastating, catastrophic, but it's actually a really good thing for you at this time. It could be a little scary, something that you're unfamiliar with, and that's okay, Aries, because good things are going to happen. So what you don't want to do is you don't want to keep your blinders on. You want to be open to new possibilities and don't have a sense of denial when it comes to things. And this is all in your present situation. So the Tower also tends to indicate something collapsing that was falsely believed to be true. So please treat this card delicately. So if this is referring to a marriage that is ending, it was built on false beliefs and disillusions. So this is really good for you. It's really good to start something new for a fresh start. And that is what seems to be going on right now, Aries, for you in the present situation for the month of October. It just says that you want to be prepared and to be ready and improve matters after everything is completely done. There is always something positive that can be done in any situation. So just kind of be yourself, go through the motions. If you feel sad about this ending, it's okay to take time and express those feelings, but don't wallow in it, and don't be in a situation where you don't see things for what they really were or what they really are. Just remember to open your eyes and take it all in and see things for what they really are. And that was what is currently happening in my present situation in our spread today. The next card that we have is, what can I expect to be revealed to me in the weeks ahead? That card is the Eight of Springs. All right, so we have the Eight of Wands, and that is reversed. Says that the Eight of Wands is all about speedy movements ahead. Things fall into place, and there is a faster climbing of the ladder as well as a burst of energy. Your blocks for this card could be that you get kind of sluggish, you lack energy. This is both with and without things taking longer than they should. There are delays within the person where they feel tired and unmotivated. So that would be the block for the Eight of Wands reversed. So yeah, like I said, what you can have to look forward to, or what's going to be revealed to you in the weeks ahead, is kind of like what we were talking about just a little while ago, Aries, with the don't be afraid to move forward. Don't be afraid of new things. Something in your life is coming to an end that you may not have seen with your eyes open, that you may have been in a fantasy world about it. What you need to remember sometimes is fantasies are fantasies and reality is reality. So definitely, things are going to start moving a little bit more quickly. They're going to start speeding up in the weeks ahead, and that things are just going to fall into place. And it's going to be a little bit faster than what you anticipated. And that is for the question in the spread, what can I expect to be revealed to me in the weeks ahead? The next question that we have in our spread today for Aries for October of 2018 is, what do I need to be mindful of when it concerns my health and well-being? And that card is the Devil card. Dun dun dun. I think it's always funny when people see the Devil card, because the first instinct that they get when they see that card is, oh man, this is going to be really bad. Or like with the Death card. And people say, oh man, this is so horrible. But it's actually not. It has a completely different meaning than what most people actually think it means. So, I mean, just because you get the Devil's card doesn't mean that it's necessarily bad. So, with this card appearing in your situation, it means that you feel helpless to change whatever is going on. It can show a form of enslavement. So this definitely has to keep in mind with our health and our well-being, with everything that goes on, like the hustle and bustle of everything. You need to be mindful of the ideals or the addictions, and even manipulation or controllingness in certain relationships, whether that be family members or a boyfriend. Just kind of, you need to be mindful, because all those things are draining on our body. They're draining for our health. Overindulgence is a result in upset and greed or lust that can become self-destructive. Overspending is typically an example. However, the important message here is that you need to be in self-control and knowing that this behavior is released and that you are free to walk away from it. So anything in your life that's causing you stress is going to impede on your health. We tend to get overworked if this is matters relating to your job where you're getting overstressed. It's okay for you to take a step back and for you to realize that some of the stuff it's not healthy for you. And that it's okay to walk away sometimes. This card also carries an aspect of secrecy, such as secret plans being made either by yourself or others around you. The surrounding cards would include that everything that has been going on up until like now has been kind of stressful for you. So with the Devil card, what you need to keep in mind is that you need to be open and to release your stress. But with releasing your stress, you also need to be mindful of the fact that it's not the time for self-indulgence. You need to be responsible when it comes to handling your stress. And it's not the right time for you to go out and party and live up the life and drink alcohol and all that stuff. So just keep in mind that when handling your stress, it's very, very good for you to try and handle things responsibly. Now, the other aspect of the Devil card says that this can show a healthy sex life, strong and impulsive urges for lust for life, and so on. But take to extremes, this behavior can become excessive or addictive. It can indicate a passion that is compelling and strong in physical attraction, although it does not necessarily imply a healthy one. Surrounding cards will verify. So yeah, pretty much what I've just been saying. If you're coming out of something, whether it be a divorce or ending an old relationship, and this present time, it's time for you guys to start new. It's time to start laying down new foundations. But when you start to lay down new foundations, a lot of people tend to be a little shaky, a little rocky, and sometimes that does affect our health. And what you need to be mindful of is that it's okay to have new and exciting things in our life. You just have to be careful not to take it to the extreme. And when you deal with handling your stress when it comes to your health and your mind frame, just be responsible about it. Don't take things to the excessive extreme with it, because if you do, then you have the tendency to fall into this addictive pattern, and that's just not where you want to be. The next question in our spread today is card 5. What are the next steps needed to move forward in my career to become successful? Boop, 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 boop. That card is the 4 of Cups. So, with the 4 of Cups, this is what you need as next steps to move forward in your career to become successful. It says, a mood of nonchalant surroundings the 4 of Cups, an air of indifference. It represents a feeling of boredom or inward discontent, even though nothing appears to actually be wrong. You need to be watchful that due to this mood, you don't inadvertently miss new invitations or opportunity, the kinds of things that you'd kick yourself for later. So what that pretty much means for the next steps to become career and you're successful is that don't take the boredom feeling and the discontent feeling as, I don't want to do this anymore. You know, you get sometimes in your careers and in life where you get in those stagnant points where you're like, oh man, what am I doing? And then you just kind of lose focus. This is not the time to lose focus. You need to be mindful and be watchful of your surroundings when it comes to your work environment. Because definitely when new opportunities become available, you want to be able to be in that mood where you can jump right on those new opportunities instead of being stuck in a depressive state when it comes to your job and losing out on those opportunities because you weren't being watchful of them because you were in a bored state. So that pretty much wraps up what are the next steps needed to move forward in my career to become successful for the month of October for Aries. The next card in our spread for the question, it is, in what direction is my love life headed in for the weeks ahead? And that card is the 5 of Pentacles, referring to our love life. This card shows a supply of warning and that you need to have careful attention on your financial affairs to guard against loss. It also says that it's a time to head for the shops and to indulge in a spot for retail therapy. Oh, I'm sorry, I so misunderstood that. This card is saying that it's not a time to go indulge and do shopping. that it's actually time to be mindful of your money, and that temporary hardships are indicated, and you may feel like you're kind of shaky on your financial and even emotional level. Yet there is always help if you look more closely for help. The money sources could be lacking, so the time to be careful and review your financial affairs and everything you order, everything you recognize, you need to budget accordingly. So this is not the time in your love life to go and splurge on dates and going out with your boo if you're a boy, or your hubby if you're a girl. So it's just saying that you're starting a new foundation. Everything's going to start to fall into place. Don't be too bored in your job, because you might miss out on some great opportunities. And when it comes to the love aspect of your life, it's not time to go and have self-indulgence at this point. It's time to kind of watch our finances, make sure we're on the right path there. So this card is actually warning you to be cautious with that when it comes to making financial commitments and agreements to other people that may be in our life that are important to us at this time. It says that you can be careful not to miss any valid opportunities that could improve your situation at this time either. So with our love life, we should definitely be on the lookout for help, because help will be coming. Just be mindful of how much you spend on your significant other, or overindulging in yourself at this time. And that is what direction is my love life headed for the weeks ahead. The next card that we have in our spread today is, what are my challenges and warnings for the weeks ahead? This is card 7. And that is the 9 of Cups. This card is one of the most promising in the tarot deck, and is sometimes referred to as the wish card, signifying the achievement of important desires that bring you fulfillment. It can represent emotional and material fulfillment, abundance, and also sensual pleasure. It indicates you will feel well pleased. And this is the challenging and the warnings for the weeks ahead. And pretty much what that means is that the challenge you're going to have and the warnings that you're going to get is that you feel like you have all this abundance and that you can take the time to go out and do these things that you want to do. But when in reality, and this goes back to the fantasy is fantasy and reality is reality, you need to be mindful in the sense that you still need to watch your finances. Even though you may feel that it's okay for you to splurge, you need to be on a budget. So definitely that is a strong warning. It keeps going back to, your financial situation for the month of October. So I think that if you want to budget responsibly and have time to put a little bit aside and say, okay, this is going to be my fun money. But you need to make sure that everything else is lined up first. I think that you'll be okay if you do it that way, but just stay on a budget and be mindful of where your money is going. If you have someone that is coming into your life or someone that's already in your life, that is putting a financial strain on you, then maybe it's time to reevaluate that situation and look a little bit more closely at it. And if this person that is in your life is really there for you, then they're going to help you with your financial situation at this time. But if they're not willing to offer you help in your time of need when it comes, then maybe you need to reevaluate why this person is with you or is in your life. So again, the challenges and warnings for the weeks ahead is that you need to be mindful of your spending, because we're starting a new foundation. You know, everything new, you're starting from scratch. You have to build and work your way up to it. So even though you may feel like it's okay for you to, go out and splurge at this time, the cards are giving you warnings and they're giving their intent that, this is going to be good. It's going to speed up, but you need to be mindful of your spending. And the last card that we have in our spread today is the 8th card, which is something I need to let go of to move forward in the weeks to come. That card is the 7 of Wands. The 7 of Wands, guys. So something you need to let go of to move forward in the weeks to come is your ideas and your beliefs, where they may be challenged significantly for you to feel the need to defend your position. While you may meet with oppositions, the 7 of Wands indicates that you can win thoughts in this situation and overcome any obstacles that are put before you. To do so, you need to remain calm, have confidence in yourself, and possess the courage to stand up for what you believe in. Now, since this is something that we need to let go of, and the card is clearly saying that this is something that we struggle with when it comes to your opinions, I have a feeling, Aries, that in certain situations that you're very opinionated and that you always need to have your opinion come through. And so that sometimes you argue or try to make other people see your point of view, and this hinders you a lot in your growing process, because all the time that you're taking to try to get your point across, you're not taking the time to actually listen to other people's opinions and their thoughts. So a lot of our life lessons come from actually listening and learning from others. It also has to do with, being able to recognize our own faults and working through them. And definitely take into advice when I tell you that if this is something that you're struggling with, always trying to get your point across and how do I want to say this? You're just kind of, I don't want to say arrogant in a certain way, but you think that your opinion's always right. So that is something that you need to let go of. Even though you may be right in certain situations, it's always nice to stay humble about things and not always argue your point across, Aries, because sometimes taking the higher road and being a little bit more humble, especially when it comes to other people, sometimes it rewards itself, because then they realize that they weren't necessarily 100% right. And, there are situations where people do come back and they do say, oh, you were right. And I wasn't 100%, truthful or, right on this certain topic that you're talking about. So definitely that is something that you guys should keep in mind, because when you stay humble with other people, there's more of a genuine, like, compassionate feeling that overwhelms yourself. It's really hard to describe, but it's really, really good for the long run in situations sometimes. So that is something that you do need to let go of in order to move forward in the weeks to come. And that pretty much wraps up our October 2018 reading for the zodiac sign Aries. If you guys liked my videos today, you can always like the link on my YouTube channel, subscribe, or go to my Facebook page, which I have in the description link below. Bye! And I will be back again next month for November's reading. Yay!